What is up, guys? I do hope you're well. My name is Mark, and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you want to skip the initial waffle, the timestamps are down in the description and also along the timeline, so feel free to do so. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as all really helps out our channel. And don't forget, you can follow us on Podcast 2 now, so you can take us with you wherever you go. And you can also join the channel for YouTube membership or over on Patreon. And I just want to say a huge thank you to 2 new members who joined us yesterday. A massive thank you to Kate Gunn, who I've known for a very long time. So thank you very much for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you around. And also Kevin Adams, thank you so much for joining us. You know, your support absolutely blows me away. And everyone just for being here, taking the time out of your day to sit there and listen to me, you know, is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, let's get straight in to today's stories. Much love, guys. And our first story comes from Son of a Peach. Am I the asshole for ruining your game night by telling the truths? A few nights ago, I set up game night for a small group of friends. We had all been quarantining and following the proper guidelines in my county. It was only to be 5 of us, including me, but one of my friends texted me last minute that she would get to bring a coworker from work. Matt. Fake name. It's fine with me. We started playing a card game where you answer questions about yourself based on the level 1, 2, 3. The question could be extremely surface level. Example, what's your favorite color? To something deeper. Example, what characteristic of yourself do you not like about yourself? Everyone was enjoying themselves and I was happy with the way things were going. To a question I drew, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to go through? Some backstory, my sister passed away a few years ago when I was still in high school. I was pulled out of class and flew immediately to her college and watched her die in the ICU. Needless to say, this is probably the hardest thing I've been through. 3 of my friends in the group knew about this, the other 2 and Matt did not. I didn't want to bring the mood down, so I answered the hardest thing I've been through was transitioning going to a college in a different state where I knew no one. We were all ready to move on, but Matt immediately piped up and said, "Wow, if that's the hardest thing you've ever been through, you'd have an extremely privileged life." Everyone got quiet. Now, if he had said it jokingly, I probably would have let it go and moved on. However, the way he said it was in a very condescending and patronizing tone, and I will admit, it rubbed me the wrong way. Instead of letting it go, I said, well, the hardest thing I've ever been through is seeing my sister die in ICU, and having watched her being lowered into her grave when I was just 17. I just didn't want to bring the mood down. If things were quiet before, they were dead silent now. Matt mumbled an apology, but game night ended shortly after. After all my friends left, my friend who had brought Matt texted me and told me I was a jerk for making Matt look bad, and I could have just let his statement go. I do feel bad about what I said. I've been the cause of getting that ending so soon, but I also feel like I was making a justified statement. Am I the arsehole? First of all, sorry for your loss, of course. But you're not the arsehole in this situation. You know, he made the statements and you've lived an extremely privileged life in a condescending way. So I think bringing him down a peg or 2 is absolutely the right thing to do. And I would have loved to have seen that guy's face when you said that. I bet it was well awkward. But let's head straight down to the comments to see what we can find. Hey, who are you says, not the arsehole, Matt made Matt look bad. Like what Alcritcher says, not the arsehole, Matt was being a jerk and deserved to be heartily embarrassed for it. Maybe I think before he opens his mouth a bit more in the future. Don't take a genius to realize not everyone is going to feel comfortable answering that question honestly, and I'm so sorry for your loss. And that's so true. I mean, by the age of this person was 17 when they lost their sister. By that age, usually something traumatic has happened in someone's life where they've lost someone. So a lot of people are going to answer that question, well, would want to answer that question with losing that particular person. But obviously, in a game, you don't really want to answer that sort of thing. So I can totally get that. Recruiter19 says, not the arsehole. He had a snarky response to someone he just met for the first time. You put him in his place, so it goes. Endless Nanosecond says, not the arsehole. Going to college where you don't know anyone is something most people go through, and clearly it was just something to fill the space, and moved past a question. Matt decided he wanted to be a condescending jerk. Matt got shown why one does not be a condescending jerk. Matt made Matt look bad, not you. Hopefully he changed his behavior in the future, because he seemed like a jackass. And I turn this question to you guys. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 1. And our next story is from JF56. Am I the arsehole for recreating a secret cookie recipe the person does not give out? My boyfriend's mom makes these amazing cookie bars. She makes them for the holidays and family gatherings, and people always request she brings them. I asked for the recipe once, and she laughed and said no, that it was hers, and that she isn't going to give it out to anyone. I dropped it and never asked again. I started baking a lot during the pandemic. It's been fun for me in my downtime. I decided with my free time to try and recreate the cookie bars my boyfriend's mom makes. I poured at recipes that sounded similar from online blogs and started baking and tweaking. It took about 5 recipes and batches. I finally nailed it down. The secret recipe ended up essentially being a cookie bar known as Carmelita. Oh my god, I was right. I then decided to make it my own and improve it to my tastes. I used high-quality chocolate, made sauce with local homemade caramels, used flaky sea salt on top, vanilla bean paste instead of extract, added a pinch of this fantastic organic cinnamon I had on hand. The results were over-the-top delicious. My boyfriend declared they are better than his mum's, and he finished off half a pound in 2 days. He was FaceTiming his mum Saturday and eating one. She asked what it was, and he said, "One of your caramel bars." She found a recipe online but made it even better. She lost it. She started yelling about how awful I was for making her cookies and how I had no right. He told us she was overreacting and quickly ended the call. She started blowing up my phone with nasty texts about what an arsehole I am. I explained to her that I found the recipe I used online where it was very public. I actually tweaked that to make it more my own, and that I wasn't ever planning on bringing them to an event she's at, so I did not see what the big deal was. She didn't care. She called me names and told me I was wrong for baking a recipe that I knew was similar to hers. She didn't speak to me or her son. What I didn't think my boyfriend should have made the comment about how I made it even better to his mum. Taking that out of the question, she thinks I'm an arsehole for even making them to begin with. I disagree, but from the text from her and a couple of other family members of hers, they think I crossed a line. Am I the arsehole for recreating this recipe? Edit to add to this since people were asking, and edit to correct that I made my caramel sauce with homemade caramels from a local shop. I used the recipe below for the base for my bars, but then made the tweaks I mentioned above. I used high-quality chocolate, homemade caramels from a local candy place. I had 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste into my caramel when I melt it, and a pinch, probably 1/4 teaspoon or less, of a very mild organic cinnamon into the oatmeal mixture. I top it with flaky sea salt. They are great the regular way though. Because of the tweaks I made to my last batch, the batch got me in trouble because they were declared better than the inspiration, add up quickly in price. And there's the link for the caramel bars, but be careful because she might come after you too. But I can't see you being the asshole in this situation. I mean, you went online and found a similar bar and recreated it for yourself because you liked the original ones. I think she's just totally overreacting. Although I can also see why she's being protective of her bars because obviously it's her thing with her family. When she takes in that, everyone loves it, and she obviously loves that reaction from everyone. She obviously lives off that kind of reaction. So she might be very protective of it because she thinks you're going to take it away from her and you're going to start bringing these bars and they'll be better than hers, and that's probably panicking in her head, you know. But not the arsehole in this situation. So let's go down to the comments to see what we can find. Loki the Mischief God says, and quotes, "I was wrong for baking a recipe that I knew was similar to hers," and then says, "Dear mother-in-law, I've decided you're absolutely right, and I offer my fullest apologies from the bottom of my heart for intending to cook something similar to your cookie bars. Please find attached a list of every dish I know how to make. If you make any of these, please cease and desist immediately." As you rightfully pointed out, it's wrong for us to ever try and cook similar dishes. 2 people in the same family should not attempt to cook similar recipes. Please provide me with a full list of all the recipes you know, and unless they already appear on my list, first come, first serve, then I should never attempt a recipe similar to those on your list. The cookies are obviously yours. Please do not try to choke on them. Yours have a tendency to be a little try. Send it, OP. Send it, I dare you. Regular Tal says, for home consumption, not the arsehole. If you started bringing a signature dish to family events, etc., yeah, you would be. I think all you can do in this situation is what you've done. In theory, what you do in your own house is your business. I don't get fault you get bent out of shape over this kind of thing. She told other family members. That's weird to me. However, it doesn't really matter what I think. The fact that she's pissed, she's hurt, and right or wrongly, you're going to need to figure out a way to repair it, or let it blow over if you continue to have this strange, irrational woman in your life. Good luck. And so I turn it to you guys. What do you guys think of the story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that poll in the description for story 2. And our next story is from Colby1112. Would I be the asshole if I cut my boyfriend off financially after he ignored my basic requests? Also posted in the advice subreddit. I'm 26 female, he is 27 male, and we've been together for 8 years. I was in a bad car wreck a few months ago after getting T-boned by a semi. Because of this, I got a check for almost $19K, as well as a brand new vehicle. I practically begged my boyfriend multiple times not to tell anyone we received the money because of both of our families suck and like to mooch off of us, even though we are the ones struggling financially and we're the only ones who lost our jobs to the virus. We got laid off within a week of each other and we're both denied for unemployment, so it's been rough. I received the check from the accident 3 days ago. He instantly went and paid $100 to his sister that we owed her, and apparently she asked where he got the money. And despite me telling him not to, he told her I'd gotten my check. He instantly told me about it and said that he felt cornered. The sister has that effect on people, so I tried to push it out of my mind, even though I was peeved. Since that point, I've gotten phone calls from all three of his brothers, his two sisters, and even his uncle, who I have never even met, due to him living in that state. All of them will ask him for money. I hold true to my restriction and didn't allow anyone to borrow anything, because I know they will not pay me back, and I have more important shit to do with my money. Pay bills, rent, pay off my car loan, and student debt, and put away a big chunk so I can save for a home. The final straw was this morning. I wake up to a call from an unknown number at around 5:30 a.m., and it's his father. He's like, "Hey Cham, how you doing? How are you recovering?" So I gave him the rundown. Well, before he hangs up, he says, "So Judy, my boyfriend's sister, told me you got your money. Peter, his stepson, turns 5 today, and I didn't get my paycheck, and I'm fighting with payroll about it. Can you spot me $500? I instantly hung out and confronted my boyfriend about it. I told him my basic requests were ignored and that I felt disrespected and I didn't want people knowing for this exact reason. He told me I was blowing it out of proportion and I could simply tell him no. I explained that was besides the point and I wanted to avoid having to turn people away left and right. He still thinks I'm overreacting. So now I'm at a loss where a part of me wants to cut access to my check from him entirely because he can't even follow basic requests. He's not spending the money or anything like that, especially without asking first, but the fact that he told people after I practically begged him not to sits really heavy on me. Part of me knows he is right, and I could just say no, but I don't want to have to do that. Would I be the asshole if I cut off access to this money? Hell no, I think he's proven unreliable already, so, he's an asshole. But maybe you should, tell him, if he goes around and tells all his family members, they're not borrowing a penny, he can maybe make it up to you that way, rather than you having to deal with that. That'd be the worst thing, is you told him not to, and then you're having to deal with all the consequences of that, so they're all coming to you asking for money. And while he's just sitting there, just tell him no. No, you tell him no, they're your family, Jesus Christ. But yes, let's have a look at the comments below to see what you can find. Nato Asano says, "Not the arsehole, cut him off, it's your money, not his. And if he just ignores what you want, he doesn't deserve a penny." Talkie says, "Not the arsehole, it's not even his money. I'm surprised you allow him direct access to it anyway. Why you might not be so easily suckered into lending money here and there, his family will easily guilt him into taking it straight from you." Two Legging says, "Not the arsehole, his family seems pushy, it's better to be safe and sorry, especially when it's your money." Taxmando says, "Hey champ, you're not the arsehole. You need this money more than anyone right now." And who says, "Hey champ"? Wow, I'm going to tell this one to you guys. What you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to vote on that poll in the description. And our next story is from Atsu Shimiyataka. Might have completely butchered that one. I have the arse of a cancelled on my girlfriend to make plans with others. This happened a few weeks ago, but she still seemed annoyed by it. I don't think I've done anything worth apologizing for, but tell me if you disagree. So my girlfriend and I hadn't seen each other in a few months due to COVID. I've gone out and seen friends, because at this point no one is following the rules anyway, and the infection rate is decreasing by a lot. But she refused to leave the house for the first few months of lockdown till the government changed the regulations. Didn't want to break the rules, which is fine. Anyway, the government has now eased the restrictions on meeting people, and she invited me to go for a picnic. I agreed to the days she suggested, and we left it at that. However, during that time, it had been announced that pubs were reopening. I waited for months to just go to the pub to have a drink with friends and socialize, so I thoughtlessly made friends on the day the pubs opened, which was the same day we'd organized to go to picnic together. The night before, when this picnic was going to happen, literally at 2 a.m., she texted asking if we were okay for tomorrow, so I told her a couple of days later would be better. She said she already had plans that day, would much prefer to meet up with the day we organized. I wanted to let her down easy, so I told her that I wanted a haircut before I saw her, to which she said she didn't mind. So at that point we just came clean and said I already made plans that day. I thought she'd be understanding of this, but she got really mad at me. She said she had cleared her schedule for that day for me. If I wanted to change plans, I should have told her hours before we were due to meet. That I only even told her we weren't meeting because she prompted me in the first place, etc. I didn't think it was a big deal at all, and that she would have just calmed down afterwards, but she remained mad for some time. She even told me, one of our mutual friends, that she was particularly upset because I had been making an effort to meet everyone but her, and named one person who she was specifically upset that I met. For context, my girlfriend is very uncomfortable with me meeting this one girl, call her X. She says that X clearly likes me, has been known for intruding on other people's relationships, doesn't respect her. Apparently X treats her pretty badly in the past, even saying that I'm leading X on by meeting her. This was apparently really irksome for her because recently X invited me on a picnic, which my girlfriend claims is a huge overstepping boundaries, was mad at me for not telling her no outright. So much for being well-mannered, I guess. Personally, I think she would go too far by getting mad at me for meeting people because they're my friends, and even if she doesn't like one of these friends, she doesn't have the right to say that I can't meet her. So Reddit, am I the arsehole for meeting my friends, even if it means my girlfriend can't see me on one occasion? We're gonna go straight down to the comments with this one, starting with Multi-Face saying, "You're the arsehole. You made plans to have a picnic with your girlfriend. Then you made plans with someone else in the same day. Then you never bothered to tell your girlfriend that you weren't going on a picnic with her anymore until she brought up at 2 a.m. the night before. Like, what was your plan, to just not shut to the picnic? Then you lied to your girlfriend about why you didn't want to have a picnic with her, and only told the truth after she shot down all your excuses." And then quotes, "I didn't think it was a big deal at all." And then says, "Of course you didn't, because you're an asshole." Cabaret88 says, "You're the arsehole without doubt. Cancelling plans with your girlfriend you haven't seen in a long time to hang out with your friends you've been hanging out with all along. The pugs won't be going anywhere. Wouldn't be so sure about your girlfriend though." Wickedest says, "You're the arsehole. You double booked and then you lied to your girlfriend about it. Put it because you realized what an arsehole you would look like if you just admitted the pub is more important than seeing your girlfriend for the first time in months. And when your lie doesn't fly, you have to come clean, and she acts like you knew she would. Extra arsehole put to make an effort to meet up with a girl you know she's uncomfortable with you hanging out with because she liked you. Let us know if you still have a girlfriend after this." Here, Fishy says, "You're the arsehole. I'd happily break up with you at this point. You lied, you ditched her, didn't even cancel your own. And I also find it questionable you don't seem to take her feelings about X seriously at all. You can be friends with whoever you want, but at least be a little considerate." Broad Elderberry says, "You're the arsehole," then quotes, "I've gone out and seen friends because at this point no one is following the rules anyway and the infection rate is decreasing by a lot," and then says, "People like you are the reason the infection rate keeps going back up," and then quotes again, "I've been waiting for months to go to the pub just to have a drink with friends and socialize," then says, "Getting a drink is more important than spending time with your girlfriend. You canceled the wrong plans, dude." And then quotes again saying, "She says that X clearly likes me and been known for intruding on other people's relationships and doesn't respect her." And then says, "If X doesn't like you, you are leading her on by meeting her, especially if you're meeting her without your girlfriend." And quotes again saying, "Recently X invited me on a picnic, which my girlfriend claims is a huge overstep," and says, "This is a huge overstep in boundaries. X asked you on a date, period. By not saying no outright, you're disrespecting your girlfriend and allowing X to do the same. It's not poor manner to turn someone down when you're already in a relationship. Your girlfriend has every right to ask you not to see people with disrespecting their relationship with you, and every right to expect some of your time. If you reject her request, I guarantee you're going to end up single very soon." Wowzers, trousers. What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote in that poll in the description. Anyway guys, thank you for being here once again today. You know, I say at the start and all the time, I wake up in the morning and I think, God, has people actually listened to me out there? How crazy is that? Does that not blow your mind as well? Absolutely crazy. Thank you so much for being here today. Yes, thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.